So I'm here at Walnut Canyon, which is a canyon that's just filled with cliff dwellings. And I guess I've got a pretty good hike ahead of me. She's going to sit up here on the platform and wait while I do this. So I'm going to try to do this in about an hour and a half. So I guess when all the volcanoes erupted about 1,000 years ago, all the people that were disrupted by the volcanoes came down here. And a lot of them, hundreds of them, settled into this canyon to escape the wrath of the volcanoes that are about 40 miles north of here. So that's why these settlements came to be. There's supposed to be 293 steps, I was told, which is fine right now, but coming back, they said it was not 200. It was 293 steps going down, but 2,293 coming back. Now that's natural rock here, but that looks almost like a rock wall. But that's natural. There. So I come down all the steps. I'm still about halfway down the canyon, and the trail splits. It says it's a loop. Apparently that's the way back, and it comes right between these rock walls here. And more steps. A lot of steps. I gotta walk on flat. Well, it's downhill, but better than steps. There's some quick lines right over there. We're coming upon the very first up close. Okay, I said all they had to do to make a place to live here was put up 2 walls, and it's pretty well covered in here. Out of the rain, out of the wind. Got a little shelf to sit on there. And then more of them here. So just pick a spot and build a couple walls around it, and the cliff is your roof. Step in here. It says they would plaster these walls if any water would start seeping in to keep their home dry. And you can tell they've had a fire right there. And it's black right along the roof. Especially out here at the edge. The roof is really black from smoke. Get back out here on the paved trail where I won't fall over this cliff. This here ain't too bad walking. I think he said it was 1.25 miles, but it would take an hour and a half. I can see some pretty complete ones over across the canyon there. Right there. We won't get to see them. I ain't climbing that cliff to get to those. I don't think they would allow you. These are pictures showing how the Indians used each of these rooms. See here they're doing weaving, dining. And that looks like a women and family and kitchen, cooking, and storage. And then here's the actual ruins. See this? The outer wall, more exposed element, has more stones. The inner wall has more mud and less stones. Had to do notice that.
It'd be nice in the summer. In the winter, but they were jacked.
It's very, very black. Like they must have had a fire. Must have kept it, and it's black on this roof. Must have been a fire at this end. It's a pretty good sized room. This looks more smaller, like a storage room maybe. So anyway, let's keep moving. I need to get my wife's other knee fixed so she can do this stuff again.
There you go.
Gotcha. Perfect.
This one has all some outer walls. All right, there was the dwellings, and then it says the women and children had to hike down there to get water. It was this responsibility of women and children to keep the water, and they had to put them in jars and carry them back up here. And see the lines in the rock? Back when this was laid down, sandy beach was what this rock was before, and all the different directions of the lines is the way the wind was blowing the sand, and then it got covered up and compressed and turned into rock. Here's one that is really, really complete. See all the black? They put a big fire in here. Hung blankets over the door so air could come in the bottom and escape out the top. Can't go in here, but I'll put the camera in and look around. Here's one that's missing most of the doorway, which is good because I can barely get in the doorways. The walls are really black from fires, smoke, keeping warm in the winter. Hi.
Hi.
Just little bitty doors. Small room. This room would be big enough for me. I'd be fine in here. Of course, I'm living in a little teeny tiny camper right now. That's more space than I got right now. Another little room. Not as much black in here. Not as much smoke on the walls. Oh, these run all the way down through here. Protecting them, can't go in. But we can like take a peek. That one's got a really small door. See, he's got a hole here for the smoke to come out. This guy was smart. He built a hole. They said one of these had an ingenious smoke way of keeping warm with the. And he'd hang a towel over the door and leave 6 inches at the bottom open, and then the smoke would go out that hole at the top. I think you still wouldn't be able to build your fire too big. I would think that smoke would build up in there. I suppose it did backfire him on him from time to time. This is a nice sized room. It's a little short for short people. steps back up. I'm just walking along the edge of this sheer cliff. We was down at Carlsbad Caverns once, and we was back in a back place like this, going to a cave, a back cave. You had to hike way up in the backcountry, and my wife slipped over the hill and she landed on one of these right here, and she had thorns stuck in her backside. I had to sit there for about an hour and a half. She must have had 90 of them stuck in her butt. And I always tease her now, every time we see one of them, there's your friend. You know, on this side, there's no cliff dwellings. There's too many trees. You can see them ridges from the sand, back when that was the sand. And this was the sunny side of the canyon, which they avoided. They preferred the shady side of the canyon, which I think I would too. Oh, there's a little shade. I'll enjoy this for a second. This might be the last I get for a few minutes. Our trip's winding down. We're going to go into Winslow, stand on the corner here after a bit, and then tomorrow Petrified Forest, and then the Vail Super Volcano the following day, and then we're going to a diamond mine, and then that's about it. Well, there's a couple Route 66 museums coming. Well, we hit those in Texas, so I expect those to be kind of neat. But I'm trying to figure out how to do these videos, whether to make them long, break them up into each individual place. I think I'll just do a bunch of shorter videos, because even on a single place, some of these videos are 40 minutes long. There's just one small little dwelling there. It looks like there may have been one here sometime. It's completely disintegrated, but you can see where they've had the fires. The rock is burnt. And then let's see, across the way, there's some dwellings over there. There's one. And there's another one. And there's supposed to be another one over there somewhere on a different level. But I don't see it. Anyway, I'm just sitting down here cooling off too. I haven't drunk any of my water yet, but here comes the steps. I think I'll hit the water a little bit before I start the steps. It is a pretty canyon. Oh, there's a dwelling over there. Let's see if I can find it. It's hard to zoom in on these looking at a tiny little viewfinder. Let's see. It's right below that big dark spot right there. Yeah, there's a dwelling. That looks almost man-made, but I think that's natural. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. 2,293 steps. It feels like that's how it's going to be. I still think I don't do too bad for a 60-year-old guy. It's nice and shady here. Some little red flowers. These are the things that were growing on the volcano. It's one of the few flowers that would grow on the volcano. And these are the yellow ones we see everywhere. Some yuccas. Ooh, that one's got fruit. They don't get them stalks very often. There's some more red flowers and some yucca with fruit. I love these old dead trees that you see around the desert. That's almost looks like a bench made for sitting. Let's shut you off for a minute and I'll turn you back on shortly. These flowers were different. I thought I'd get a picture of them. Most of these desert flowers are small, maybe plentiful, but small. Those are a little bit larger. I just want to show you there. This is a pinyon tree. There's bunches of pinyon trees all over these hills. But the natives back in the day of these dwellings, they used these trees a lot. They took the seeds. They could eat the seeds off of these trees. And that sometimes meant surviving or not surviving. The sap, they took the sap out of these trees to waterproof their baskets, and then they cut the wood and use it for heat. Oh, I love this old tree here. Look at this thing. That's still alive. It just looked dead. It's got. I bet that's old. I bet that tree is really old. It's a pretty cool tree though. Old trees been hanging on the side of this cliff for hundreds of years. We have met where the trail joins back, and nothing but steps for the rest of the way. I think I'm gonna suck down a little more water before I start this. I gotta stop here for a minute. There's shade. See the people down there. That's where I come from. Where's the people walking down there? A lot of stairs. Leave it on for a minute. If I drop dead, you'll see it all on YouTube. I'm just kidding. I'm down to 175 pounds from 275 pounds. If I could show myself naked on YouTube, I would. I look good. Best I've looked in 40 years. Hey, some shade up there. Right up there's some shade. Stay on paved trail. Like I'm gonna go wandering out there. Well, if there's something going on there. I'm gonna turn the camera off a minute, rest, suck down a little water. Back on the move. I only rested for a couple minutes. We're gonna drive in the Winslow, do the standing on the corner. I think there's a couple other things downtown too we can look at. And we're going to go to Long John's. That's what we're thinking. Because we've been eating nothing but the same thing for a couple weeks. Either ribeye steaks, which are good, and bratwurst and chicken wings. I brought an entire freezer of just those three things. And all the camping, that's our choices. We one of three things every night. So we're gonna get some fish and chips tonight. And I think we're gonna get pizza tomorrow. I used to own Domino's Pizza. I'm having pizza withdrawal. Oh my gosh. All these steps. I'm just keeping you with me so I don't die. You're keeping me. Oh, here's a bench. A bench. A bench. It's in the sunshine, but I can catch my breath for a minute. Well, ain't nobody passed me, so I can't be that slow. Well, the ranger passed me. I'll take that back. There's a lady ranger, about 30, passed me. But she probably hikes this 10 times a day. Oh, okay. More steps. So this little orange flower here is the claret cup. It bears a tasty fruit, and they're small, but they're loaded with vitamin C, calcium, and potassium. And the Indians used to gather these in spring, and they would dry them and use them in the winter for sweetener. So this is what they would put in like their drink for sweetener. And more steps. Hey, I got a little bit of flat. I hear voices. I see the top. We're getting close. Yeah, there's the building. There's a long ways from down there. Oh man. Oh shoot. This is pitiful. 8 more steps. I have to stop. Eight more steps. Rock has holes in it. I can't help it. I'm like a little kid out here. I'm gonna stick my finger in every little hole I can find. Okay, now I gotta find my old lady and get out of here. There she is.
Back already?
Yeah, how long does it take?
About 40 minutes, about 35, 40 minutes.
Pretty good.
Heard someone else say it took them an hour.
40 minutes for the whole trail. Pretty good for an old guy. Are you ready?
Not bad for an old guy.